Hello, welcome back to Two Bros Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Joe.
Episode number 39.
Are we up to 39 already?
This is episode 39. Today we're doing our new format, one segment, and try to keep it short to around 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. But we babble. It goes over.
And we're doing short videos too. We're throwing in like during the week and the off days.
Yeah.
So you check our YouTube for that.
Yeah, like this week we released an unboxing of the Ep39. And then you got some stuff I think you're releasing next week.
Yeah,
and,
so
I'll be putting together some more stuff too.
Little by little, we're throwing extras in there.
Like I'm thinking of throwing in like little tricks to show you that what I call the Gojira slide, that pick scrape thing.
That shit we were talking about. Yeah, do that.
And then hammer-ons, the Zach Wild whoop, how you get those. So anybody out there just learning to play guitar, here's how you do it. So all right. So this week we're just doing Turn It Up.
Turn it up. So you want to turn it up?
And the band is Aerosmith.
It's now time for Turn It Up.
Which now that we're doing single episodes, it's kind of redundant to play a theme music than a bumper song.
No, you got to have the Turn It Up bumper song though,
because it's classic. It's classic Two Bros.
And that's like in the warehouse. I said, "Turn it up,
turn it up, man."
So we'll start with the questions, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready?
I guess as well as I will be. Yeah, let's see.
Question 1. What alcohol was I drinking? What was the year Aerosmith formed?
1970.
Yeah.
I mean, they started forming prior to that, but yeah, they became Aerosmith in 1970. All right, so.
Yeah, because Perry and Hamilton, Brad, Tom?
Yeah, they were then. And Steven Tyler was a little bit older than them, and he was in other bands. So I got one. At least I got one.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, and I picked the band, but I don't know a whole lot about Aerosmith. We're just picking crusty bands.
He's taking some of my crust.
Yeah, this should be you.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Question 2: how many albums have Aerosmith sold worldwide?
Oh fuck! I'm taking a guess on this one. 100 million. 200 million.
Over 150 million.
Over 150 million. Because you know what throws me off too is that they had the 90s where they got those big old soundtrack fucking albums and they just sent them fucking through the stratosphere. And people that don't even know.
But a lot of the guys in the 90s that didn't grow up with them, discovered them and then went back and bought their classic.
And went back, So,
I think that added to it too. And then question 3. Who replaced Joe Perry on guitars from 79 to 84?
Oh, fuck. I know
it could be a hard one, but
no, I know they brushed by this because I have like notes about the albums and when he left. And then the other guy left. What was not Brad Whitford? Was it the other guitar player?
Tom Hamilton.
Tom Hamilton left, bass player.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's Jimmy Crespo.
Oh, you know that because that's like your childhood friend. That's fucking not a common
when I see
name.
that, I had to add that as
Crespo. Fuck,
Crespo, my arch nemesis. No, he was my childhood friend, but he was the kind of friend that always got shit first.
Yeah,
when like we had Atari, he would get it first.
Yeah, that was like mine.
I'd have to go spend the night at his house to play.
Yeah,
and then like I told him I was saving up for the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
And I didn't have done that because like the next week
he got it.
And bought him a Commodore 64. Like, motherfucker.
You bastard.
Yeah, there's Dennis Crespo. That was my Dennis Crespo. But
yeah,
so I seen his name. I was like, oh, I gotta ask that question.
So obviously an iconic band, Aerosmith. And I don't know a whole lot. I mean, I've known him over the years and I've listened to him. But my biggest thing was my story behind him was kind of the stories about Joe taking my tapes. This is the reverse Joe taking my tapes. This is one where Joe gave me a tape. And Permanent Vacation had come out, and he bought it. He had bought that cassette. And you don't remember any of this now, huh?
I don't. No way. After you told me last week about it, when we were talking about it, I can't. I don't have a physical memory of giving you the tape, like handing it to you.
Yeah.
But I remember about that time, because I was switching everything to CDs.
Yeah.
I had all my cassettes and shit in like a case, and I was switching them all over because I was doing that Columbia House scam where penny for like 10 or 15 CDs and shit.
Yeah.
So I was started collecting the CDs. So I was just basically instead of throwing the tapes out, I was just giving them away.
Yeah, but this one, I don't think that. Well, I mean, maybe that was the case, but you didn't like this one. You didn't like the tape.
Could have been. I bought it, and I didn't like it.
You didn't like it. You were like, this. I don't like this tape. You want it? And it was the one tape you gave me. So that was like the memory of this. And this came out when I was like in junior high. So yeah, I'd go to the junior high dances, and they're playing Angel, playing Dude Looks Like a Lady. So it was big at the time.
Yeah.
And it was a great tape. I liked it. And but it was the reverse. You fucking one you gave me back for my 2 or 3 that you took.
See, goes around, comes around.
Oh shit. But they're based out of Boston. They come out of Boston, Massive Huge Tits. And they Steven Tyler, like we said earlier, he was a little bit older than Joe Perry and Hamilton. And so they were jamming. And I guess a place called The Barn, I guess it was an old barn that they used to put on rock shows at. And that's where all the kids would go play shows at. And they ended up, they used to always see Steven Tyler's band playing. And I guess one time he asked them if they want to jam together. And they ended up forming Aerosmith. And dude had tons of albums. But they obviously started doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah, they were, the 70s. And
70s, yeah.
Their big influences were like Zeppelin. They were, hard rock, and they were in blue, kind of that hard rock blues kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so their major influences you could tell was Zeppelin. But
and they did so much drugs and so much partying that Joe Perry and Steven Tyler got the nickname the Toxic Twins.
Yeah.
Because them two were out of control. And they
before Slash and Nikki Sixx, they were in the dumpster.
Oh, they were in the dumpster. So, what was it? So I had notes like he left Toys in the Attic after Rocks. I think Draw the Line and the live bootleg was when, or no, Night in the Ruts. That's when Joe Perry left. He said, "Fine, fuck it." They were fighting over a chick. It was Joe Perry's girlfriend. She was very vocal. She was like a Yoko. And she would tell off Steven Tyler, and he would just lose his shit on her. So they were always fighting because Joe would always bring his girlfriend along on tour and shit.
Yeah.
And that and the drugs, it didn't help anything. So he left for a few years. They replaced him with that guy. What was the guy? Crespo?
Jimmy Crespo.
Jimmy Crespo. They replaced Joe Perry with for 2 albums. Didn't really go nowhere. They pretty much fell out.
That was like their rehab years, because I remember they were in and out. Like Steven was in rehab.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until the mid to late 80s when Run DMC.
Yeah, Run DMC, because I think it was 85. Because I have this. See, what was that album?
It was 86 when they did the collaboration with Run DMC.
No, but in 85 they put out but I think this is when, I can look that up. We have the internet. Run DMC. Let's see.
Yeah, because Run DMC, didn't they first put out, because they were doing the rap was stealing like all the old songs.
Yeah, rap like originally would take old music, old rock songs, old soul songs, and they would just put that bed of music underneath.
And then they just rap over on top of it. And they had taken that Walk This Way and did that. But they got permission and shit.
They did. No, it was Rick Rubin's idea. He was working with Run DMC, and
Yeah, it wasn't like they just stole it. They got permission.
No,
And all that.
and they went in there and they did the vocals and guitar on it with them. So they tracked it and they had the blessing.
But then it hit, and then they actually brought them and made a video with them. Joe Perry and Steve Tyler were in their video.
Fuck. I'm fucking finding the original shit. Anyways, I don't waste my time. Look there. But yeah, either way, they basically brought him back from the dead because nobody was listening to Aerosmith anymore. And that album hit.
Put out a couple albums throughout the 80s.
They did.
They weren't doing shit.
The one was supposed to be their comeback, and Joe Perry comes back in the band. So this is what I'm like I said, the dates, I don't remember exactly when they did it.
That was done with Mirrors in 85.
So it's 86. Okay, so yeah, the Mirrors album, was it Done with Mirrors? Yeah, Done with Mirrors. The funny thing about that,
which they shouldn't have called the album Done with Mirrors, when they're all coming out of rehab.
Oh no, shit! I didn't even think about that. But the stupid thing about that, and when you look it up, it's not that. Somebody at the record company said, "Hey, let's print it backwards, so that you put it in the mirror, and then you could read it."
Yeah,
it was like, what a stupid idea. You look at the cover now, you're like, what the fuck does that say? What the fuck is that? So this was supposed to be their big comeback. Joe Perry's back with them, and it fucking duds. It's a flop. Hey. And then Run DMC comes along, helps them out, and boom, they're back. And then 87, they come out with Permanent Vacation, and they're back on the charts. So yeah,
and in the 90s, that's when they blew up.
Then they were freaking huge.
It was like their second breath or second life, because they blew up and then they started coming out on soundtracks.
Yeah. The Aerosmith doing the soundtrack.
You couldn't fucking get away from them.
No. And even I remember Saturday Night Live doing a skit about their like early 90s songs. Crazy, amazing, amazing, crazy, amazing, crazy, amazing, amazing, crazy. And I'm like, maybe you've heard this one. Crazy, 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 amazing. It was just like, because they all kind of sounded like that sound. It was like, it wasn't rock and roll anymore. It wasn't what Aerosmith had built their name off of. And it completely changed. So
it was just basically movie soundtrack songs.
Yeah, it was the same format, same movie type sound. So
and they were just doing it. They just went full blast into that shit.
It was the paycheck, man. Boom. And then I'm sure they were selling out arenas at that point. So
yeah, then they started touring again, and yeah.
And then if you're off drugs, that's a hell of a drug right there. So but yeah, they went away, they had a second comeback. Not a lot of bands get to that point to get as big as they were and then crash and then get to come back.
Yeah.
So these guys are lucky and
sold their souls.
Maybe.
But that's the inside where they always say that shit.
Well, you know what? I used to hear that shit. Remember in the 80s they're talking about how you could play a record backwards and you could hear messages from you could hear messages from the devil and shit. And I remember them saying Aerosmith was one of the bands. I was like, Aerosmith? I'm like, oh, what are they, evil? Like a heavy metal album? These guys ain't even fucking metal. I guess they're classified in like the glam metal, but they're not metal. Like they're rock and roll.
They're hard rock.
They're hard rock. They're fucking 70s hard rock.
They started, they were Zeppelin. A lot of bands were back then, but they were Zeppelin influence. That's who they were. Their big.
Well, that and blues, very much Delta blues, all that stuff. Because they were up in Boston and everybody was influenced by blues. The real kind. So, but yeah, they, I'm sure everybody out there's heard them. So that was my turn it up for the week.
So now they're doing, or I guess are they still doing it? Like Elvis Presley in Vegas, they're doing the stints there. Like,
oh, that's what everybody does now. Yeah, they go do, what do they call them?
I was looking at when I was looking research for this, Tesla just signed next year.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're gonna do a stay in Vegas.
Yeah, what do they call them? A residency. They call it doing it a residency. Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool if you're a band because it's like having a day job. You don't go on tour. You're home every night. You know where you're at. You're not going around sleeping on a shitty bus. You get the runners. You can't take a dump in the bus because that's the rule.
Yeah.
Nobody shits in the bus.
Get the coffee can out.
Yeah.
Oh, we know about the coffee can.
That's a joke from our childhood. Grandma's house in the middle of the night when a kid had to go to the bathroom, you go in the coffee can. Grandma, I don't want to go in the coffee can.
Closet. She would put it in the closet.
Yeah. It sucked for the girls because even peeing, you had to go in the coffee can. Guys were like, no, I go to the porch. I'll piss off the back porch. Fuck that. I don't need a coffee can to piss. Taking a dump, it's like, oh, maybe I can make it till the morning.
Grandma, they call Grandma Jessie up.
Yeah, I would go to Uncle Nacho's.
Nachos,
Take me to Nachos. Grandma, can we go to Nachos? Can we go to Nachos? You can take a shit in the shower there.
Who put this thing together? Me! That's who!
Mexican Americans!
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you got anything?
No, and we didn't really cruise the boulevard with Aerosmith.
Because they were kind of down. They were fighting to come back, and you didn't like their tape.
Yeah. When I was cruising in the early mid '80s, yeah, they were out of it. That was when they weren't really.
Because like '87, I was 13. Yeah, so you were fucking 19.
Yeah, I was out of the.
You're like, this is weak sauce. I don't want to hear this. I think by then you're like listening to Metallica a lot, and
I was waiting for Dave Mustaine to come back and play with Metallica
and write some new songs. I was like, hey Dave, they used your songs. They did it for like 3 more albums.
That's what he keeps.
I'm a Heil Hitler bitch.
Get the fuck out of here, Ginger.
Say good night to the bad guy.
Yeah.
They did. They took your song.
They did. And for, you got your 11 months. Cherish it. So, all right. Anything?
No, that should do it.
That's it.
Oh, just check the links below.
All the links will be below. Any references, anything you need to see.
Yeah.
And hit subscribe. Somebody. Somebody hit subscribe. Anybody. Sending out an SOS.
Can't tie my shoes, but I can fuck your bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
All right. Out of here. Bye.
Later.